You held me back when I tried to move on from your life. So you stole my life for clarity. So hold me back, now you're here. Cause I'm mad, show no fear. Wanna let you know just how it felt. Oh no, 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 no. Don't you think we could? There's a way we could be. No, oh no, 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 no. I know the way you look at me, I know it too well. Now I'm bulletproof. You might find you're gone, but I'm flying high. I'm bulletproof. Don't ever touch the ground. You can never bring me down. You can never bring me down. Can never bring me down. Cause I'm bulletproof. Yeah, I'm bulletproof. We've been up, we've been down, trying to figure things out. End up losing myself in this but I'm done being done. Gotta end it all now. I won't ever turn it round again. Oh no, 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 no. Don't you think we could? There's a way we could be. No, oh no, 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 no. I know the way you look at me, I know it too well. Now I'm bulletproof. You might find you're gone, but I'm flying high. I'm bulletproof. Don't ever touch the ground. You can never bring me down. You can never bring me down. Can never bring me down. Cause I'm bulletproof. Cause I'm bulletproof. Cause I'm bulletproof. Yeah, I'm bulletproof. You might find you're gone, but I'm flying high. I'm bulletproof. Don't ever touch the ground. You can never bring me down. You can never bring me down. Can never bring me down. Now I'm bulletproof. You might find you're gone, but I'm flying high. I'm bulletproof. Don't ever touch the ground. You can never bring me down. You can never bring me down. Can never bring me down. Cause I'm bulletproof. Yeah, I'm bulletproof. Cause I'm bulletproof.
And then I accidentally ended the stream. But yes, here we are. Here's Lilibet. Oh my goodness. So, what do we think? Do we think she looks like Harry? Meghan? Both? I actually think she looks like both. I think she looks like both of them. And wow, wow, what a pretty little kid. Her teeth have grown. Do you know what? I love that they've released this, and it's just Lilibet and not Lilibet and Big Lilibet. Just wow. She is so adorable. Harry's jeans coming in with the ginger hair. Oh wow. Maggie, I'm hoping Megan posted the picture after finding out how much the squad is raised. Oh, I don't know about that, but I'm going to get into that's another thing that I was kind of scurrying around trying to find out where the picture was posted, because I couldn't find like any like official like press release. So it turns out that it was posted on a friend's Instagram, sorry, on a friend's Twitter. So this is a friend of Megan, and do you know what I love? That they've got their own little friendship group, and that also in that friendship group you've got other children who are biracial. So this is Miss San Mary Am. She is the chair of South Bank Centre. She's a photographer, activist, gamer. Yes, and it's been posted on I don't know if it's the husbands or the wives. I think it's the man, but this was posted on his Twitter page. So that's where the photos were released, and it looks like these were taken at. It could have been taken at Frogmore. It kind of looks like the grounds of Frogmore, but obviously that's where they were staying. And it's just so nice to see them happy, normal with other kids, smiling, laughing, actually looking like they're having some kind of birthday party. Painted faces. This is the fun, normal life or as normal as possible life that I think Harry and Meghan wanted for their children. Oh gosh, okay, let me see if I can get to your comments. Whew. Well, the newspapers, People and the Sun, have also shared Lily's photos. Shame, I kind of wanted it to say amongst Sussex supporters. Well, it depends on whatever rights they've given to the photographer and whatever rights are on the photos themselves. So, Denise, do you think that she looks like her dad? I think she kind of looks like both of them, to be honest. And we've got this one is a little bit more close up with Meghan holding the little one. And, something that I was going to say in the podcast is I actually could not be more happy, especially now seeing these pictures and that Harry and Meghan have released on their own terms, that we didn't see the children during the duration of the Jubilee. Number one, because those children would have been attacked simply for existing. There would have been absolute clownery in the press talking about how the babies are stealing attention from the Queen, or something silly like that. So I love that we've actually gotten these photos afterwards after the Jubilee. So no one can say a baby stole attention from a 96-year-old woman. Movo, you really think that it's a nod to the squad for the wonderful fundraiser? Who knows? Oh, so the birthday cakes were baked by the same cake designer that made Harry and Meghan's wedding cake. That's lovely. April, May. Oh my, why am I cutting onions? Oh wow. Just imagine the royal family made themselves look like racist pricks over children who are aggressively ginger. just like, I'm not embarrassed. It's not embarrassing. Oh my gosh, how cute! How cute is Lily? 1 years old. Yes, Jackie, what a lovely child Lilibet is. JK, she's adorable. They should have released it next week. Honestly, they can release it whenever they want. I'm not going to question anything the Sussexes do. They do what's best for them and their children. They're doing stuff on their timing now. They're not working royals. They don't have to abide by royal timelines. The whole world is spinning, and we no longer care about what's going on crazy insane island where we've got people with golden pianos and children can't have school dinners because of the cost of living crisis. We no longer care what's going on that crazy island. Oh, did my sound go off for a little bit? Oh, sorry. Thumbs up. Oh, can you all hear me now? Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to. You can all hear me now, right? Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you also to Sheila Hilton for your super chat. You said Mr. Harryom is a famous photographer. He took and shared Meghan's pregnant photo. Oh, okay. So that's the guy. Okay, so they're actually friends. That's really nice to know. Sorry, I can't. Okay, wait. Maybe I can find the super chat because there's so many comments. Okay, there we go. Thank you so much, Sheila Hilton, for letting us know. That's lovely. Then, if they're family friends, and she chose to give him this honor. Okay, so on to other things. Now that we've all had our moment of excitement, Harry got 2 gingers. Like, wow, strong genes. Thank you so much, Caroline, for the super sticker. Now that I've gotten myself together and I've stopped freaking out, we can get on to the rest of the podcast. So yeah, the Sussexes, pretty much after Lilibet's little get together, got on a plane and went back. They didn't wait for anything or anyone. It's straight back to business and straight back to Montecito. And yeah, I'm sure that Harry will probably be participating in the polo. I love that they managed to get in and get out pretty much unseen. And yes, also the other good news of the day is that the Sussex squad raised over $100,000 for World Central Kitchen. And just, wow, guys, we made top 10 on the fundraisers. And of course, this all started with Sussex Squad podcast. And well, it started a little bit before that. They had started collecting donations, but quite a big amount of the money was raised during the Sussex Squad live podcast. It went on for 8 hours, and several different squaddies came on and talked. And this is what truly matters at the end of the day. Whatever other royal dramas happen, it's the work that matters. It's the community that matters. And I'm so proud of all of us for doing this. Thank you to everybody who donated. And if you didn't donate, but just shared the fundraiser, shared the link, you contributed as well. Or if you just showed up to the Sussex Squad podcast, you contributed as well. So thank you to everyone. I actually think that this is the perfect way to show, amidst the backdrop of the Jubilee, what really does matter. What matters is us coming together to help each other and not spending silly amounts of money when people are suffering on all of these parades and concerts and whatnot. And of course, okay, before I go on to the next thing, let's get some of your comments. Oh, I'm speechless. Nice night. You think that she's a mini Harry? Yes, Sharon, that's the way you're supposed to dress children. all this damn suit and tie and short pants. Lily and Archie look like normal children. I'm so glad that you have said that. I'm so tired of seeing the other royal kids, you know, being adultified and being made to look like diplomats. They're children. Let them be children. Ah, you have YouTube up on your big TV. Fantastic. Andreen, I hear Omid announced a fundraiser by the squad. Oh, that's nice. That's nice of him. IRAM, so glad they didn't stick around to be demeaned. They know who they are. They don't need that toxicity. Indeed, they came. And I just to since you've touched on that, Henry VIII made a very good point. She said, remember that when the press complains that Harry and Meghan are hiding their children, what they are really complaining about is losing revenue that shots of the kids would bring in. It's not about duty or respect, it's about money. 100%. It is about money. And they use these children for money when they're small. And then as soon as they get to their teen years, they're all over them like a pack of rabid dogs, watching their every move, documenting their every mistake, and just really just dehumanizing them. And as the other commentator said, Meghan had one thing to do, be there for Harry. She did it extremely well. She is not responsible for the actions of the UK and their thematic journalists. And really, the clownery of the UK journalists, they tried everything, absolutely everything, that ridiculous, embarrassing, stupid stunt from Dan Wooten, Lady Colin Campbell, and the sperm donor, trying to drag Thomas Markle, Samantha Markle, and Thomas Markle Jr. into this, trying to put Harry and Meghan off from coming to the UK because they knew that they would be upstaged, trying to create a media storm. But it did not work. Harry and Meghan walked into that church like a whole damn runway just for them. And how embarrassing for the press, because that moment of Harry and Meghan walking down the runway like that, it wouldn't have happened without the Queen. It wouldn't have happened without the Queen. And they know that. So how embarrassing for them. And I'm just so glad that they have ended up with egg on their faces. They have been defeated. As Sussex Royal Glow said, Camilla Tominey, who decided to start flapping her gum as well, writing, Harry and Meghan are second row royals is her way of consoling herself and lying to her readers about two royals who captivate global attention, lead trending topics, and can dominate the press based on lens grainy pictures taken from a back room. And as Pagan followed on by saying, I think these articles were written before they even arrived. They were likely built around a seating plan that didn't happen, which is why Kate said, wow, when she realized they weren't sitting where she thought they would be. And I think that they probably expected that the Sussexes would be all the way at the back or something, all the way at the back. I don't think that they were expecting the Sussexes to get so close to the front. Bearing in mind, they're almost always in the second row anyway. And so I think this has really been an L for the press. I think it's been an L for William and Kate. And it's been an L for everybody who's been involved in the smear campaign against Harry and Meghan and their children. They came, they went, they conquered, and they did so in peace. And I'm so glad that we can move on. We can move on to archetypes. We can move on to Harry's book. After this, there's not really anything to keep our eyes on the royals, unless they're being messy, of course. And let's face it, they're always messy. Deceased podcast, I thought it was a prank the first time I saw her. Drop dead gorgeous baby. Oh, indeed. Yeah. Gentle Kisses. It's up on my TV so I can see it better. Fair enough. Oh gosh, the trolls are in that. Whoa, almost 1,900. Jesus Christ. Thank you so much, moderators. Thank you, Mod Squad. There's almost 1,900 in the chat. Holy hell. Thank you, guys and dolls. You are doing it. Mod Squad. I feel like I'm going to have to do like a private chat with a Mod Squad one day, like private tea. Just us, because you do the Lord's work. The Lord's work. Okay. Let's see. Yes, thank you so much, Lorna, for blocking that troll. I'm going to see if I can try and put the... Can I put the chat on slow-mo on my side? Because... Oh, yeah, thank you so much to the trolls for the numbers. Yes, Crystal Scott. Oh, if anyone... And I have to have seen your name regularly, or else I won't make you a mod. But anybody who wants to be added as a mod, please put an animal emoji in the chat. And if you're a name that I recognize, I will make you a moderator. Thank you very much. Okay, so final thoughts on the Jubilee, though, before we move on and on. Somebody created this funny picture of a projection of Andrew and Virginia. That is fake, by the way. That is Andrew and Virginia Guff, who I believe is now free to talk about Andrew. Now that the Jubilee is over. But yeah, let's not forget, even though we love our faves, the other things that are happening on the backdrop of all of this. Boy. And you know, people I think in their own humorous ways have begun to call out just how bonkers all of this is. You know, you've got somebody who tweeted, "It's incredible how much the Queen's cousin looks like her dead husband, who was also her cousin." And yes, her and Philip were indeed third cousins. And I have absolutely no idea what war her cousins what wars her cousin fought in to be given all of those medals, but someone put a picture of, I believe those are North Korean generals, and yeah, I've always said that our relationship in Britain with the royals is like, it's like North Korea, except North Koreans are actually forced to worship these people. And in Britain, we do it by choice. And that I find even more embarrassing, because you actually have the freedom to think for yourself, because we still live in a democracy. And you choose to treat yourselves as peasants. You choose to allow these people to look down upon you. And I think people are starting to realize just how insane it is. Why do we keep doing this? And I as I've said on this podcast, pretty much since like September, October of last year, as we get deeper and deeper into this recession, deeper and deeper into this cost of living crisis, I think more and more people are starting to realize how crazy it is. Andrea, Meghan has acknowledged the fundraiser in her message, thanking supporters. I mean, I'm not on Twitter at the moment, so I can't see if they've acknowledged. What are you talking about? This fundraiser, or are you talking about a previous fundraiser? Because I know that they acknowledged the previous fundraiser. Those of you asking, is Lilibet trending? Yes, she is the #1 trending topic right now. Lorna, thank you, Toms and Scamantha, for joining us. Yes, I'm sure that they're in this podcast. Thank you so much. Thank you for the views. Yes, we need troll repellent. It's going to be a long night. Okay, let's move this swiftly along, because I do have quite a few. yeah, one of the things that a lot of people noticed was that there were an awful lot of American performers at the Jubilee. And as I said, the way I see it, I think that the firm is desperate for that American Hollywood star power, the same Hollywood star power that they belittled Meghan for. Now they're trying to use it. And so, of course, they brought in Alicia Keys, they brought in Diana Ross, they brought in, I think, Adam Lambert. There was a Hamilton number. I also do wonder, though, how many. Jenny thought it was a portrait of Philip. Oh, Christ. I also do wonder, though, how many UK singers actually just said no, because I've got no doubt in my mind that they would have asked Adele, and I think Adele probably would have said no if I have to take a wild guess. Let's see. Yes, Angela, relics of the past. Relics of the past, indeed. Jessica, Omid just posted that once Harry and Meghan returned to Montecito, they learned about the fundraiser and the amount. They were pleasantly surprised. How does he know that, though? How does he know that? I think for me, unless it comes from the Sussex people, that's the only time I will take anything about Harry and Meghan's words by gospel. Oh, sorry. Omid said from her spokesperson, they are grateful. Oh, okay. So it is from their spokesperson. Thank you so much for clarifying. All right, let me actually go on Twitter and find what Omid said. Oh, breaking news while we're on the air. I hope I don't cut the podcast again. Okay. So Omid said, a spokesperson tells me Harry and Meghan remain incredibly touched by the countless birthday wishes for their daughter and have also been amazed to learn that Sussex supporters around the world have made donations amounting to over 100,000 to Lilibet's honour. Oh, okay. So the Sussex spokesperson specifically told Omid, well, first of all, well deserved to Omid to get that exclusive. I think he's earned it. He has always been fair with the Sussexes, and so well done to him, and thank you to the Sussex spokespeople for letting us know that Harry and Meghan know about the fundraiser, and that they've now made a statement. That's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. Andrew, does anyone know if Elton John showed up? There was something about Elton John. Wasn't he injured or something? Wasn't he injured? Inspired by nature. As an American, I was proud to see so many Americans participating. I lives in the US currently. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it was great. And they had so many artists. But to me, it was also very much a PR move. I think that the firm is trying to slide into the DMs of Hollywood. That's what I think they're trying to do here. And one person who did perform and who absolutely showed up looking like a queen was Alicia Keys. But a lot of people found it quite funny that Alicia was allowed to sing Empire State of Mind. And Taylor on Twitter said, absurdly funny to me that they got Alicia Keys to perform Empire State of Mind during a celebration of English monarchy. Happy Jubilee. Here's a song about that colony you lost. Amen. She also sang A Girl on Fire. And she sang it with such power and such rigor. So well done to Alicia Keys. Well done to all the performers. I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I kind of saw bits and pieces of it. There was also a segment with Paddington Bear with the Queen, and Absolutely nothing is safe now, even Paddington Bear. Uh, Peter Walker using the moment to obviously refer to what's going on um, with the situation with the deportations to Rwanda, saying, really not sure how much longer the UK can use Paddington as some unthreatening symbol of national unity, when under current policies, he'd be locked in emergency talks with pro bono immigration lawyers about avoiding a 15th June flight to Kigali. And James O'Brien saying, hope Paddington likes it in Rwanda. So, they can try and, dress this whole Jubilee up as something that's, meant to be about national pride and try and dress it up with, cute fluffiness from Paddington Bear. But I think people do very much still have a lot of the political issues that are going on in the country in their minds. Also, we got a nice shot of the crowd. Every single one of every single one of my aunties and uncles were invited. Apparently, I don't know why I wasn't invited, but all of my aunties and uncles were invited, and I found that interesting. Right, let's go to your comments before we move on to the next part. Marina, Cliff Richard said he was not invited to perform. Ouch. Ouch. Wonder why that was. Yes, every squaddy start using hashtag Lilibet. She is trending at the moment. Yes, the Seas podcast. What a day. What a day. Was not expecting this at all. Kayla, you're late. You don't know what we're talking about. Welcome to the party, Kayla. Beth, Elton was in a wheelchair. Oh, but he did not come. Okay. And also remember that William and Kate are still gunning for the US with Earthworm. Lydia, you're gonna make me just like choke to death live on air. I imagine Thomas Markle will get a miraculous healing and somehow speak regarding Lilibet. Yeah, that would be interesting. Elton had leg troubles. Oh, that's sad. Hope he recovers soon. Yes, Miss P Talk. They're trying to rebrand themselves as more international. Oh gosh, Carmen. Sorry you're late, but I had to look at every post of Lilibet's picture. Fair enough. Chosen to be his. I love the Paddington Bear segment. Listen, I'm not gonna hate on anyone for liking the segment. It was all very cute. I'm just very mindful of these things now. That I just think with everything that's gone on with the royal family, it's just nothing impresses me anymore. I don't think anything is cute, and I just want us to start having deeper conversations about these people. I guess with everything that's happened to Harry and Meghan, I'm just so soured at this point. But I'm not going to take it away from you if you thought it was cute. It was actually quite a funny segment. My point of view, I saw somewhere the Derangers were asking how much the trip back to the UK cost and who was paying for it. Do not realize still that Harry and Meghan are a hop and a skip away from billionairedom and don't need the taxpayer money. They need to be worrying about the Cambridges using their money, using taxpayer money to get helicopters from one city to another. You're like, not not Paddington. I love Paddington. Yeah, well, They just had to drag Paddington into the mud. I'm not gonna lie, it was a very funny segment. Like you had the Queen pulling a sandwich out of out of her bag. But I just my heart is just soured. It's just like I know better now. Um, yeah, Mercedes, rent a black person. Or in this case, rent about 20 black people and put them in the background. Did anybody see William's speech? I didn't watch it. You all can give me your opinion, anybody who watched it, in the comment section. Um, mm, see what else. All right, let's move on to the next part. Okay, before I move on to the next part regarding the Cambridge children, I just want to say this. Number one, I sincerely hope that one day the Cambridge children can free themselves from the golden gilded shackles of this institution. I think that the royal institution is cruel and abusive to children. I think that the grown adults within the royal institution, the parents, the courtiers, are failing these children. And as I go into this next segment, I just want to make it very, very clear that my issues are with the grown-ups and the grown adults in the situation, not with the children. Neither will I tolerate in the comment section any abuse towards the children. But I do think we need to have this conversation because it is long overdue. The generational trauma placed on royal children goes back many generations. And looking at everything that has come out over the last few days, I could not respect Harry and Meghan. And like if I didn't already respect them so much, I respect them even more because they have spared their children this. I think that there is something going on in these households because children, they can throw tantrums but what I saw in these images and videos, because it wasn't just Louis, it was also other royal children as well who were acting up. I saw a reflection of something deeper that could be going on in these households. That again is no fault of the children. I blame the adults. And the PR campaign to spin what's going on into something else has been going on for a while. I mean, this article that you can see here, the headline goes back to 2021. But in light of these videos and these images coming out, there has been a whole spin machine going on. And, you look at the wording that's used in this headline. Prince William and Kate's children are very polite and have all the right ingredients. What do you mean by ingredients? I think I don't need to say what they mean by that. And straight away, people were picking up on the hypocrisy of how this situation is being covered and how it would be covered if it was, Archie and Meghan. And if this was Archie doing this to Meghan. One person saying nobody would criticize Prince Louis or his parents for his behavior. Nobody should criticize Prince Louis or his parents for his behavior. Well, I think they should criticize his parents, but definitely not Louis. The point, however, is that had it been Harry and Meghan's child, she would have been pillared, parenting and Netflix blamed, and African genes thrown in for good measure. Yes, and that that statement right there, African genes, it goes back to really this. The Cambridge children have all the right ingredients, but Meghan's children have African genes. Somebody else saying people blaming this on him for being poor, but look at all the other royal households, the Spanish, the Swedes, the Grimaldis. They bring their kids out to events, all ages, and they don't behave like this. Top CEO and Kane can't parent their kids. Don't at me. And the way, I posted it in a previous video. The way that Louis, I feel, was behaving towards his mother, that is often a reflection of how the father treats the mum. And there is actually footage of William when he was a child hitting Diana and being very sassy. So it's just like history repeating itself in so many ways with this family. Guys and dolls, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second because I forgot to plug in my laptop and it's actually going to go off. So I need to plug it in. 1 sec. Okay, and we're back. Very sorry about that. So before we carry on, let me go to your comments. Oh, hey. My. Torma, isn't Kate an expert on early childhood training? What happened to her training? Well, yeah, this is another thing that people have brought up. That she has, held herself as someone who's becoming an expert and an advocate for early childhood development. And yet she seems not to be reflecting too much on how involving royal children in duty would affect their own mental health and their own well-being. I mean, look at these pictures. The kids are just miserable, and this isn't just like 1 or 2 pictures. It's very consistent. And in these pictures here were actually taken in Wales. They had to then get on a helicopter in order to be back in London on time. So no wonder these kids were just so grumpy and tired looking. You can't blame them. I don't understand why do they continue to do this to these children? And I do also blame royalists and monarchists. They are also to blame for this, for these children being dragged out like this. This constant thirst for to put these children in this position. I don't understand it. I think also the press, it's money for them, and you look at this picture, for example, of them standing on the balcony. Now, obviously, the royal family page used a much more smiley picture, but if you look at these faces, I almost feel like, and this, both the kids and the parents, that they literally resent um, their own people, their own peasants, because, like Harry said, it's like they're trapped. They're trapped in this gold gilded cage, and people picked up very quickly on the differences in which they reported on Meghan as a mother and on Kate as a mother. I mean, they were belittling Meghan, harassing her just for the way she carried her own baby, saying that she doesn't know how to carry a baby, that she's going to drop her baby. They were saying that Archie was going to be a brat. Um, even though we'd barely seen Archie. So how do you suddenly just like label a child a brat? Meanwhile, they're talking about Kate Middleton's best parenting techniques and how the Cambridge children are so well behaved. And one thing that we have seen over and over again from both the British press and the royal households is how they tend to project. So they'll say, Archie's acting like a brat, even though they've never seen Archie. You've seen very few videos and images of Archie. And yet now we've got, very clear footage of how some of the royal children behave. And it wasn't just Louis. There was an even more shocking video of one of Mike Tyndall's kids. I mean, I can understand children throwing tantrums, but biting like that, hitting like that, um, I certainly don't remember biting and licking my dad's face. It's like these children aren't being taught any amount of self-awareness or restraint, even though, even when they're in public. And it's just very sad. It's the parents' fault, and it's the parents failing these children. And I hope that somebody can step in and do right for these kids before we get to the teen years. Because if this carries on, we're going to get to the teen years, and it's going to be the same stuff that we saw with Harry and William. The way the press just tore them apart. Joe blogs, I work for CAMS, and Louis does display some of the traits of being on the spectrum. Either way, his parents should know the attention span of their children and prep for it. Well, I'm not going to personally comment on what I think is going on with him, whether or not he's on a spectrum, but certainly I do agree with you with his parents, should know his attention span and, should know that perhaps it's not best to have him at events like this, for a very long time. Yes, Darlene, ingredients means white, basically. Oh. Let's see. Yes, ingredients also means privilege, rich, and yeah, that, of course. Oh, thank you, Harry and Meghan, for taking your children out of this madhouse, this cult. Tashmak, children should be taught the importance of not just their own boundaries, but other people's boundaries. I agree with that 100%. God is love. Is the inflation over and food shortage? There was a lot of money spent on Jubilee. Well, inflation isn't going anywhere so far. Rising gas prices isn't going anywhere. Food shortage, there was like, I wouldn't even call it a food shortage, to be honest. It was just like minor gaps in the supermarket for some time, but that's kind of gone away. And now it's just still inflation. But yeah, regardless, they have spent an awful lot of money on the Jubilee. Oy. Yeah, Hidden Beauty, George and Charlotte just they look miserable in those pictures, and it's becoming a um regular occurrence. Also, now apparently the press have decided to start body languaging the children. Now we're body languaging the children. You've got the so-called expert writing about Charlotte has her head down, eyes closed, and forehead tension. Why are we body languaging children? Like some of this stuff is just. I talk about it just to call out how ridiculous it is. It's actually crazy. We're body languaging children now. Like this is how desperate um, parts of the press have become. Um, oh, and don't forget, Tyndall, wasn't he the one that said that he wanted to beat Harry up and that he didn't support Black Lives Matter? And this is supposedly why Harry wasn't ignoring him the other day, because we know Harry never forgets. And right on the other side of the spectrum, you've got Harry and Meghan's friends coming out and posting on Instagram saying, so nostalgic and wonderful to be reunited. Harry and Meghan and their family in the UK. Archie has grown to be the cutest, well-mannered little boy, and Lilibet is just beautiful. And you also see Daniel Martin there adding the three hearts, because you know he's seen those kids as well. So the idea that Harry and Meghan are, hiding their kids away from the whole world, no. Those who are close to them and who they trust get to see those kids and interact with those kids. And the news with Louis went global, all the way to the US, literally on CNN. I don't think that this is what they wanted in the American news, but this is what the American news was reporting. But yeah, that's really all I had to say about the situation with the kids. Like I said, I hope they can grow up to find peace and freedom in the same way that this little one here is going to have, thanks to her parents putting her well-being and her brother's well-being above the idiocracy that is royal family duty. Yes, Wendy, I am so glad that the Sussexes are far, far away. Far away. Oh. And it also just looks like when children act like that, it could be that they're just not spending enough time with the kids. We know that royal children, it is somewhat of a tradition for them almost to be raised by their nannies, not by the parents. Valerie, to be honest, it's just horrible. I was shocked to see how miserable the Cambridge children are. Yeah. And I don't even know who at this point could step in and do something. It seems like Diana's family very much keep a distance. Yeah, I think that there's obviously still space between Harry and William, so I don't think that Harry's going to want to intervene with William's children. Lorna, maybe that's why Jack Brooksback and his wife are moving to Portugal. Once people know you are a royal child, they act differently around you. Yeah, and that's another thing. The way that others act around you because you are a royal child, and I think especially for George, because he is set to be king. It just must be a very weird thing, because they're also taught that especially him being king, is going to be taught that he is above everyone and that everybody is beneath him. That's what he's going to be taught, and that's what's going to shape his identity. And I think when you put someone on such a pedestal like that from such a young age, you're setting them up to fail, because look at William. Look at how he's struggling now as a grown adult. Trailing behind his younger brother because he's never done anything of substance, because he was told you're going to be king and everyone's going to bow to you. Well, newsflash, we're living in a different era now. Okay. All right. That's pretty much all I had to say today. To be honest, I'll just finish off with your comments, and yeah, we'll call it a day. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support, for your well wishes, for your sweet messages while I'm out here in Lisbon. I wore a hat for the first time probably since I was, I don't know, 10. And yes, I was very much Meghan inspired. I saw this gorgeous little hat in a store and I was like, I'm going to wear a hat today and I'm going to buy it. So thank you so much for your sweet messages. Okay. Valerie, I really hope that the British people will really wake up, vote this government out, get election reform, and get rid of the lies of the billionaire liar media owners. Indeed, the billionaire liar media owners, we need to get the royals off of the taxpayers' purse. I mean, there's so much that needs to happen, but it's going to take a whole revolution. And quite frankly, I hope that happens after I've gone, because I don't want to be in Britain and be around for that. W. Ed, you've joined the party late. Yes, that is Lilibet. I'll put Lilibet back on the screen so you don't have to look at me while we finish off. Oh, and actually, before we do finish off, something that somebody else said on Twitter that I thought was a very good point. William and Kate cannot face Harry and Meghan because then they'll have to explain how they allowed their staffer, Jason Nuff, CEO of their foundation, to step outside of his contract's confidentiality clauses to supply the Daily Mail with private conversations he had with Meghan. And we should never forget this and never stop singing it from the rooftops until we get an explanation as to why this happened, why it was allowed to happen, why William, or what, I mean, we know why William did it, but he needs to explain it himself. And so does Catherine. Rahini, why do I feel Harry and Meghan don't have a nanny? The only caregivers are the parents and Mum Doria. Well, I don't know. They might do, but they seem like they're just generally more hands-on. Like, I think most wealthy people probably do have a nanny to help out sometimes, but they do seem like very hands-on parents. And Harry spoke about Meghan making pancakes and him dropping off Archie to school, and we've seen Meghan in pictures dropping off Archie to school. So I think they're definitely a lot more hands-on and caring than children that grow up in royal households. And I think part of that probably comes from, or very much comes from, Harry's experience growing up as a child in the royal households where you are raised by nannies. And that's something that Diana tried not to do, but unfortunately she was gone too soon for her boys. Valerie, do you remember when the British media kept on saying that Meghan is an unfit mother and there were calls to take away Archie? Yes, I do remember that. We will never forget that. All right, who's going to get the last word of the day? Nice hat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Valerie. Felicia, how can an early child developer can't develop her own child? Exactly. Exactly. Okay, Legs, I'm going to give you the last word of the day. Love the picture. Oh, sorry. I actually thought that you were talking about Lilibet there, but I'm just going to pretend that you're talking about Lilibet and not about me. But thank you very much. Love the pictures. Gorgeous. Yes, Lilibet is absolutely gorgeous. Looks like both of her parents. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. As usual, I'm so sorry. Things were a bit messy at the beginning, and I somehow managed to end the first podcast, but we got there. And appreciate having you here as always. And yeah, if anything pops up tomorrow, I guess I will see you tomorrow. But if not, I'll see you when I see you, and have a great evening, everyone. Bye.
I know I messed it up, forget my soul. I feel a love for you that's out of control. Sometimes I feel like I can make you whole. I just can't change my emotions.